to approve our agenda as presented. Does anyone have any additions or deletions to our agenda? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, we have a lot of new staff members with us today from Clinton Elementary School.
Yes, I'm going to call Ms. Sharp and Ms. Kidwell up, and we're going to kind of combine two things into one. They're going to introduce their new staff to you, and they're also going to just highlight and showcase Clinton Elementary this month, and then for the next 2 months, we will do the same for North Clinton and South Clinton. So, Ms. Sharp and Ms. Kidwell, I will turn it over to you.
Yes, we are excited to introduce our new staff to you. So when I call your name, if you'll stand, and then at the end, we're going to take a picture together. So the first person that I would like to introduce is Mr. Andrew Chitwood. Mr. Chitwood is a 6th grade science teacher. We stole him from FBA. Actually, Lauren King knew him, and we arranged for him to interview, and I just knew I went to elementary school with him, and it turns out I did. He's a little bit younger, but he was extremely knowledgeable about science and hands-on learning projects, and we just thought that he would be such a great fit, and he sure has proven to be. But while we were on the interview, we were telling him that we also needed a 2nd grade teacher, and he casually just mentioned, my wife used to teach, and she always wanted to teach at South Clinton because we live near. And I said, well, I have a 2nd grade position. Would she like to interview for that? So now, not only do we have Andrew Chitwood, we also have Dominique Chitwood.
Yay, it's a family affair.
And Dominique is a 2nd grade teacher at Clinton Elementary this year. She had previously taught in Anderson County schools, and we were super excited to have her. Hello, Curtis. One thing about her, in her interview, we were super impressed with her knowledge of foundational literacy, and we were also very impressed with her knowledge of farm animals. So they live on a farm. And she told us about all things chickens, and tonight it was about a pig named Peaches. So we want to get to know Peaches, but they sure have been a great addition. Everyone has just said how much they love them, and we're very excited to have them at Clinton Elementary School. So thank you all. The next person that I would like to introduce is Emily Fowler. So Emily is a 3rd grade teacher this year, and she has fit in so well. She's a Maryville College graduate, and when I talked to her professors, when I called to get their recommendations, they said that of all the students they've had in a long time, she stood out above the rest. And when you go in her classroom, and I know Miss Kidwell could speak to this as well, it doesn't seem like you're going into a new teacher's classroom. You know, she works really hard to get to know the curriculum. She's worked hard to get to know her students, and it's just a very pleasant environment. She is also one of my former students when I taught. So I'm proud that I raised her, but she's done it all on her own, and we're glad to have her at CES as well. Oh, yes, and Jamie was her spiritual advisor. I don't know if you've heard this.
That really didn't work in her favor.
Awana. So we can't really hold that against Emily yet. We'll have to see how that goes.
Hey, Jamie, you did hear what Merle said, didn't you? She said that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to think twice once I found that out. But she's a good girl, and we're glad to have her at Clinton Elementary. And then next is Miss Ashlyn Jarnigan. And Ashlyn is a 5th grade ELA teacher. We actually stole her from Anderson County Schools. She has been a wonderful addition. She is paired with Sarah Vick, and they've gotten along very well and complemented each other very well. She's a go-getter, and I think from the day we hired her, she has been at Clinton Elementary School every single day. She went in and transformed her room into this beautiful learning environment, and she works very hard. She previously taught ESL, so she brings that aspect of differentiation to her class, and we're just so proud to have her, always a smiling face.
So I do have to tell Jenna the story because she's probably one of our most creative hires this summer. but we were, Ms. Kidwell and I were attending a baby shower for another staff member. And I just was talking to her and just seeing her interact with everybody at the shower. And so she said something that alluded to the fact that she was an educator. So I got in the car and called Abby Kidwell, and I was like, is she a teacher? She says, she sure is. And I was like, and why is she not at Clinton City? Call her right now and see if she wants to come to Clinton City. So that is how we, so you are always recruiting for Clinton City, aren't we, Ms.
Prior to
Kidwell?
Miss Kelly getting to the shower, I met Ashlyn just sitting at the table, and we had already started that conversation. So we just came full circle by the end, that it was just destined that.
I was like, call her right now and tell her to submit an application. And I think 2 days later, she was ours, so.
Thank you. Next, we have Olivia Watson. She was unable to be here tonight, but she is going to come to the next meeting. She's a new CDC teacher. She's a Clinton native and ETSU graduate, and she's been working hard on new instructional strategies in the CDC classroom. So we'll introduce more of her at the next meeting. Also, we have Jeremy Miller, who preferred to stay and work tonight, but he's a new custodian, and he is amazing. He's willing to do anything that you ask of him. He's just very quiet and works very hard, but he's very kind, and he's a good fit at Clinton Elementary. And last but not least, for Clinton Elementary, we have Matt Neal. So Matt, if you will stand. Matt, we stole him from Anderson County Schools, and I know that you all probably know about Matt. His kids go to Clinton Elementary, and his wife is a teacher at South Clinton. And one of the great things about Matt is that his instruction, when you walk in, I mean, you can hear he plays music, and it's just a lot of fun going on, but the instruction is very intentional and purposeful, and the kids are absolutely loving it in PE. So it's just so, you just want to go in and join the class when you walk by, and that's a testament to how wonderful he is. So we're glad to have you.
He also, his mother is an intervention teacher at North Clinton, so Lynn Neal is his mother. So our goal is just to get the whole Neal family
Yes.
in Clinton City Schools. And also, just another side note, he does have talents beyond PE in the classroom. He did a very good job helping us decorate our poppy curtains that we did the collaborative artwork. So he can hot glue, and he can arrange some flowers. So he does have some hidden talents that he brings to the table.
He's willing to do anything as well that you ask of him. And then she's not at Clinton Elementary School, but she was on the new staff list. So I'll let you brag a little bit about her, but Danielle, Noel, would you like to go ahead and stand up?
So Danielle, I previously told you about her, but I wanted you to put a face with a name. So Kim Leach, as you know, was our fiscal assistant in central office for many years, and she retired. And so Danielle, for a long time, was a teaching assistant at South Clinton with Lori Collins, and we knew that this was going to be a very important position to fill. And so Lori was actually the one that said, I wonder if Danielle, she left and went and worked for a dentist office for a while, and she said, I wonder if Danielle would consider coming back. So we reached out to her, and as she said, it was her dream invitation to come back. The great news is that she is not intimidated or scared of Scott Ray. And so he has not run her off yet. We have to keep telling him to be kind to the new lady. But no, she is actually working with Scott, doing all of our fiscal drawdowns, a lot of the purchasing and paperwork with fiscal services, works closely with Lori Collins with federal programs. But she is an absolute ray of sunshine. So she very much buys into our philosophy that we provide customer service to our parents. So when they come in, she's always willing to help. Her and Kim Martin get along great, and they just complement each other so well. So she has been a welcomed addition back home to Clinton City Schools.
She was my assistant in my classroom for several years, and I was a fiscal assistant. My books never looked better, and Joyce Lloyd loved me for it, and it was because of Danielle. So, Danielle helped raise me too. Yeah.
And I'm thankful, very thankful to be back.
She's one of the most kindest giving people that I know, and she's not afraid to hold her own either. So that's what we love about her. But if I can have all the new staff come, and we'll take a picture.
If you will come and just let the before you come, let me tell you who you're getting ready to meet. That would probably be good, but you all can stand up so you can see. So this is the Clinton City School Board. They are elected for 4-year terms. We've got Curtis Isabel at the end. He is a local Clinton attorney, and you've been on the school board for a long time. And both of his children have gone through Clinton City Schools. His wife was an active volunteer with us, but he's very, very embedded in the Clinton community, and he loves the Clinton Dragons. Isn't that correct? He may be a Maverick fan, but Danielle, you and Danielle can hook up there.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah. But we have Joey Smith. Joey Smith is our vice chair of the board, and he is a realtor in Clinton. But he also has 2 children that go to Clinton Elementary School, so he brings a great parent perspective as well. This is Merle Price, and Merle Price did her career in Clinton City Schools. She actually was the principal at North Clinton Elementary School for a long time. But when you get to know Merle, she truly has that perspective of what it's like to be an educator, and so she brings just a real level head and everyone is very, very strong supportive of teachers, but she's walked in your shoes, so she definitely knows. And then this is Dr. Tim Bible. He is our board chair, and he is a local dentist in town, and Vicki Bible is his wife, so y'all of you all know that work at Clinton Elementary, that is his better half. But he has served on the board for
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
since 1923, and but no, he has served on the board and really has a good perspective also of the ins and outs, and is very, very supportive of educators because he gets to hear about it when he eats dinner every single night. So he's a great supporter. Then we have Lori Wilson, and Lori Wilson joined us 2 years ago. 2 years ago, but her children also went through Clinton City Schools, but she is in the loan industry, so she will be happy if you want to buy a new house. She can hook you up and take care of your needs. But she has got 2 wonderful children that have just gone, and they're very, very successful. But honestly, you will not find a bigger fan of Clinton, Tennessee than Lori. She and Joey manage our Clinton Strong Facebook page, so if you don't follow Clinton Strong, you need to do that. But they are very, very proud supporters of Clinton. And then we have KK Meredith at the end. And KK has had several children go through Clinton City Schools, 5. And
now a grandchild.
Now she has a grandchild. She served on the board and then moved, and so she was out of her zone, and so she had to rotate off. But now she is back with us. And so she is back, and we are super excited. But she has always been a longtime supporter of Clinton City Schools. And so what you're going to find different here with this school board, and I will speak very, very candidly, that if you have been in a different district, you have no idea what you have walked into. Because in Clinton, they don't represent school zones, they don't represent certain schools, they represent Clinton City Schools. And I will tell you that I would not do this job anywhere else because of these people sitting right here, because they will advocate for you 100% of the time. They will advocate for your kids 100% of the time. And it's never about what is politically correct. It's never about furthering an agenda. It is simply what is going to be best for kids and teachers. And so they will take good care of you behind the scenes. You don't see them very often in schools because they're working and they're busy unless they're there for their children. Joey would move in tomorrow if you would let him, and because we had to train him. We thought he might be a helicopter dad when he started kindergarten, but he's done really, really well. We've been very proud. But anyway, this is your Clinton City Board, and they are here to support you. So at this time, if you will come and let the board welcome you, and then we will arrange you in right here at the stage, and we will get a picture of you all, and then we're going to dismiss you all to go home and get some rest. So come on up and let the school board welcome you.
Give each of your holy kiss.
Yeah, we can go around front. We can go around front.
We'll get out of the way.
Oh, we have.
You're fine. Follow the crowd, right?
Oh, yeah, I love those guys.
I'm gonna draw on your back. And they're all true. Yeah, right? Draw and do one.
We want to just like maybe
So I was on the board for like, what, half an hour? I think you should just say this.
Okay, here we go. We get the seal. Okay, y'all gotta take about 2 steps this way so our seal is You fashion whatever way you feel comfortable. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
That right before you say.
You can pass those out. I do. Hey, Jane. Miss Jordan, can you do another picture now that Curtis is here real fast while we're in the picture-making mode? Scott and Kim, can you all kind of scoot your chairs over?
I think we're.
Yes,
I need now.
Move your chair over. Come on, move over here next.
Oh, I get to view that.
Look. Scoot it over.
Like, where's Waldo? It's where's Scott?
All right. Ready for it? 1, 2, 3.
Wait, I'm not ready.
Should use that.
All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And a really happy 1, 1, 2, 3. Yes, there you go. Okay.
Get your pocket, buddy. That's your one.
And we're not quite through yet. Jenna and Abby are going to give you some Clinton City highlights.
Yours? Okay. Did make it to Grandparent Day. Did make it to Grandparent Day. Before or after that?
Formatted. Do great. Okay, so selfishly, this is one of my favorite nights because we get to brag on how hard our students and teachers have worked. You know, we're always working hard and we're always proud of them, but we keep moving forward to try to stay on top. So, but tonight is all about the numbers and all about the students and teachers who did so well on TCAP last year. So in the first box, if you look at ELA, we had 56.7% proficient in ELA in all grades. And that truly, truly is so amazing. That was up. Our goal always is 2% from the previous year. And I looked over data for the last 15 years, and it's been about the same, but we are trending upward a little bit. But we have 56.7 in ELA. That was 53.2% in third grade, 66.3% in fourth grade, and 63.4% in sixth grade. So we are super proud of how our ELA turned out. Our proficiency on TCAP for math was 53.8% proficient in math in all grades, 54.3% in fourth grade, 53.8% in fifth grade, and 63.4% in sixth grade math. And definitely Lauren King is a rock star. All of our math teachers are rock stars, but you can see in that 6th grade, you know, she kind of carries a different weight by herself. So that's exciting. Growth on TCAP, TVOS, we were a level 5 school, so we are super, super proud of that. In literacy, we had a 4. In numeracy, we had a 5. And then when you combine those together, it ended up being a 5, which we were super excited about. Our science was a 3, and I could probably contribute that to the time restraints that we have on teaching science. But, you know, we were happy with a 3. Our social studies was a 5. And then when you go to chronic absenteeism, it was 14%, which is a reduction of 0.4 from 21-22. Our goal for next year is to get that down to 12%. So the absences since COVID have been much higher than we ever had prior. I think at one point our goal was maybe 8%, and we met that goal. But since then, we've just struggled with, you know, when they stay home, the parents, you know, want to err on the side of caution, but, you know, they don't control whether they come to school. That's really a parent decision. And then we wanted to highlight the all-core data that we had. So all-core is, it meets during intervention time, and that's 45 minutes of a 3-on-1 teacher ratio, and 20 out of 31 of those students were meet or exceeds expectations on TCAP. So we're super, super proud of that. We really targeted those kids who were approaching, you know, kind of your bubble kids, and it looks like the strategies, the programs worked. So we were super happy about that. On our Ready at the end of the year, I wanted to highlight that 75% of our kids in reading were on above grade level, and the median percent progress towards typical growth was 153%. So if you think of 100 being 1 year, 1 lap around, we got 153%, so almost a year and a half. We're excited about that. And then for math at the end of the year, we had 73% of our students on or above grade level with 135% growth. So, questions about any of that? Some things that we want to highlight, some celebrations again. CES was an overall level 5. I haven't heard about Reward School this year, so I keep looking every day to see if any of that came from the state, but hopefully we will get Reward School status as well. And then on TVOS, 13 of 15 teachers were level 3 or above, and that's 87% of our staff. That's in a testing grade. And then for all core, 65% of students moved into the meets or exceeds proficiency. So that was what I talked about, the 20 of the 31 students were in that category. So to move 65% of those kids up, that's a true testament to that program working. Our ELA, we have to look at our subgroups. So our subgroup success was 60% of the students in a subgroup were proficient in ELA. They were female. And then 48.6 of our Black, Hispanic, Native American subgroup were proficient. And in TVOS, that's just that same information again. So, but math subgroup success, 62.5% of Hispanic students were proficient, and 58.8% of all male students were proficient in math. So, excited about that. We also have to work on a school improvement plan, and we have to make 3 goals based on the previous year's data. So I wanted to include that so you all would know what our goals are this year on school improvement. So the first goal is by May of 2024, we would reduce chronic absenteeism rates from 14 to 12%. We've put some different things into place. We always recognize perfect attendance at assembly, and we're going to purchase some more incentive items to hopefully, really get those kids, sometimes when their parents don't want to bring them to be excited about coming to school. And then our second goal, by spring of 2024, we will increase grades 3 through 5 ELA proficiency scores by 2% from 56.7 to 58.7, and increase already K through 2 scores on grade level by 2%. So we realize going from 56 to 58 is a lofty goal, but if you know our teachers, they're going to work hard to make sure we get that. And then goal 3, by spring of 2024, we will increase proficiency percentages in math on TCAP by 2% in grades 3 through 6 from 53.8 to 55.8. And again, increase the on-grade level, on or above grade level percentage in K through 2 on iReady. So K through 2, they still have the accountability, even though it's not a state test, but you know, we give the same vision to all of our staff and parents, and we're going to hopefully meet those goals. So, questions? All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Sharp.
Lots to
Did you
celebrate.
have anything you wanted to add?
The reason she referred to reward school status, and the reason we've not gotten that data back is the federal government found some issues with our ESSA plan, which is the Tennessee state's plan that they submit to the federal government. And so they've had to make some revisions to that, and they're awaiting approval, and so they cannot issue actually district or school accountability until that plan is approved. So it's been delayed a little bit. So we're just going to cross our fingers and hope we hear something soon.
And they've changed over the years. We've been a reward school all except for 1 year in maybe 2014 or 15. And they've changed the way that you can earn that, but we're holding out for it. So,
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Thank
To
you.
you both.
All right. Moving on to our consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our financial report, Mr. Ray.
Everybody should have a hard copy of the July financials for all 3 funds. There's really not much happening in July. Most of the cash that we received in July was accrued in the prior year, recognized in revenue, as revenue last year. So I'll leave you with those first 4 pages. If you turn to the 5th page, you'll see a statement from the local government investment pool, state of Tennessee. We have $505,000 in there now. So initially, I deposited $500,000. We're getting about $2,200 a month in interest from that investment pool. So a little over 5% is good. The next page is just a screenshot from OR&L. I've redacted the account numbers, so you don't have to shred it or anything. You can, not that anybody can do anything with it, but we have a current balance of $253,000. That's over the available balance, because if we do an early withdrawal, you do forfeit interest, which is not in our plans. But you know, we're getting a little over $1,000 a month in interest there. And the last page is another screenshot. That's our CD at Knoxville Teachers Federal Credit Union. And they only credit, I think, interest every quarter. So you can just see that we have that $250,000, but there's not a huge difference between that and the OR&L. All in all, and this will be reflected in the budget amendment, we're probably going to be looking at $50,000 in revenue just from interest from our excess cash, which is pretty good. Last year, with the money that we had with the city, we earned about $35,000. So that's a slight improvement. I don't anticipate interest rates being like this for the next 5 or 10 years, but I think we're going to be there for the next 1 or 2 years. Any questions on that? Our cash position at Regions, we have 1.8 million. That's our operating. That's where we pay the bills and the payroll. In July, we do not receive any state BEP, what's now called TISA, and that's normal. We get that over 10 months. That's about 600,000. The city still has 2.5 million of our money. I'm slowly pulling that over. We have 505,000 local government investment pool, 502,000 in CDs. So we're at 5.5 million cash, and we have 1.2 million in debt. So we're doing pretty well. I feel comfortable with our cash position. Any questions on that?
All right. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve our July financial report as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions or comments for Mr. Ray? Hearing none, Kim, could we have a roll call vote, please?
KK Meredith,
Yes.
Lori Wilson,
Yes.
Tim Bobble,
Yes.
Merle Price.
Yes.
Joey Smith,
Yes.
Curtis Isbell.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to budget amendment number 1.
Again, not too many things happening in budget amendment number 1. We do have, I'm recognizing in general purpose school fund that interest revenue that I discussed. And we have recognizing the revenue from a grant for school safety and the related expenditures. And I increased the HVAC appropriations by 49,000 and change, just to reflect any possible unit replacements we'd have. I can't say that that money is being set aside for specific units, but it's there if we need it. Federal projects funds, the entitlement funding, your Title I, Title II, IDEA, pre-K. Next month, we'll probably have a budget amendment for those. Those applications are in the process of being approved. The federal projects funds that we brought to you in this budget amendment result in a net increase of $72,000. And again, those are reimbursement grants. We spend the money, they approve it, and they reimburse. So that doesn't adversely affect our cash flow, waiting on reimbursements. And we're usually within 30 to 60 days on that. Cafeteria fund, there's no changes at this time. So if you have any questions on the budget amendment, the detail is in the following pages.
All right, any further questions for Mr. Ray regarding budget amendment number 1? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve budget amendment number 1 as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions? Hearing none, Kim, could we have a roll call vote, please?
KK Meredith,
Yes.
Lori Wilson,
Yes.
Tim Bobble.
Yes.
Merle Price.
Yes.
Joey Smith.
Yes.
Curtis Isbell.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to new business, we'll have the election of the delegates for the delegate assembly at the TSBA meeting coming up here in November.
Didn't we do that last time?
last time.
Did we do the TSBA? We didn't do the.
Curtis wasn't here.
No, he wasn't the delegate. He is our, what is our TL?
TM.
I thought he was a delegate.
Not a delegate. He is,
TLN.
Is that what we did
Is it
last
TLN?
year?
When we voted for,
Position.
yeah.
I'm pulling up the,
I wasn't here, so I missed that.
we did chair, I'm looking for last month. We did pay raise up, we did the no?
I don't think we did the delegate assembly.
It's not on the August agenda.
would nominate KK.
Oh, you elected a TLN
And
representative.
that was Curtis.
Yes, that's what we did last month.
Mhm.
So we've not done that yet.
I'll
Is that what we did last year?
Yeah.
You and I?
I'll second the motion for KK. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say all in favor.
Let's get, we have to have,
Two.
Two total,
One
so-
alternate.
Does anybody
If
just
you-
feel gun home about wanting to do it this
I
year?
think Curtis does.
I don't. I do not. But I haven't done it in a few years, so
Yeah.
I will vote if nobody else wants to.
Yeah, you do get, I think you do get credit for that too,
Do we?
as well as points towards
Do
your boardsmanship.
I do it,
We
yeah,
did
I enjoyed
fine.
it.
Yeah,
Right,
But I,
So I
So-
nominate Joey and KK.
all right.
let's do it.
All right, so we have a nomination for Joey and KK. No further
you get it?
nominations?
We need an alternate.
We do need an
That would be
alternate.
So there's two and then an alternate.
That
Okay,
would be Lori.
so if Joey and KK don't show up, it falls on your lap.
Y'all better show up, is all I got to say.
All right,
Curtis, you'll have to amend your motion.
yes.
To include,
Yeah.
Lori as the alternate.
Yes.
I amend it. To include Lori as the alternate.
All right, we have a motion for Joey and KK to be our representatives and Lori to be our alternate. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our testing programs for our school board policy.
This is just a revision. We usually update this once a year as per TSBA. There's been no major changes in this policy. A lot of the changes dealt with end of course and high schools, which doesn't apply to us. Basically, the only thing that I did was took out a little section that said that we would not use TCAPs during the COVID years because it didn't apply anymore. So took that out. We are choosing to not use TCAP scores in final grades in any grade other than 6th, and we were required to at least use it for a portion of 6th if the scores are returned 5 days before report cards go home. That has yet to be the case in Clinton City Schools, so we've never had to include that, but that is there just in case we ever do get them back faster than what we have in previous years. So no big changes there, just a TSBA update.
Okay. Any further questions or comments for Kelly regarding our testing programs? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the testing program, School Board Policy 4.7 on first and second reading.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to reports and information, we do have the Leadership Conference and that TSBA convention coming up in November. Kim, have you heard from everybody on that?
Pretty much.
I will not be able to attend, but that will be coming up in the near future. Next school board meeting will be here October the 5th. And which school will be?
Next month will be
it
North Clinton.
North Clinton?
We're going in
Okay.
alphabetical order.
All right. All right. And that concludes our information. We'll move on to our director's report.
And we are doing the board meeting 1 week earlier because of fall break. So that's why it's not the second Thursday in October. So we'll change there. So a couple of updates with Clinton City Schools. We are fast and furious. A lot is happening. Finally, our FOB access supplies have come in. So they started work at South Clinton this week. And so hopefully within the next few weeks, we will be able to transition and take everybody's keys and move to a FOB access, which we know is going to be much more secure. So that is actually in action, and we will be using the safety grant that Scott put into the budget. That certainly isn't going to pay for all of it, but it's going to help us make a dent in paying for that. So we'll recoup those funds from that grant to help us pay for it. We held a Grandparents' Day at all 3 schools, and you can see in the chamber insert some of the wonderful pictures, but we had a fabulous time. We did have a kindergartner that did call a lockdown at Clinton Elementary School in the middle of grandparents' lunch, so they got to see that in action, and that was a mistake, but we implemented the plan and got lots of compliments from grandparents on how well prepared we were for that. But many thanks to Airmark for helping us do that day. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock at North Clinton Elementary School, anyone is invited to come and attend, but the Clinton Rotary Club will actually be presenting us the $30,000 check that they've been talking about giving to us. So that's going to come to fruition tomorrow. I'll be taking ET up there to receive that check and show them where the playground is going to go. That will be combined with the $20,000 from Mark Trout from Rusty Wallace Chevrolet, and that will be $50,000 that we will put towards the new equipment. The new equipment, the RFP's been completed. Scott has the equipment ordered, so now we are just waiting for all of that equipment to arrive. So we're at the mercy of supply and chain demand issues. Today, we did have Representative John Reagan come to visit Clinton City Schools. The purpose of his visit was, I was watching this extraordinary session that was called Dealing with School Security, and they were talking a lot about crisis alert systems and some different security things in place. So I did invite him to come and look to see some of the things that we have purchased that might help guide some of their funding in the upcoming session. He took us up on that, and so he spent some time talking to us about just the security measures that we have put into place and additional steps that we might need, and he gathered some good information to take back. But I do think one of the neat things that he was able to see, I know I often brag on our relationship with the Clinton Police Department, but he was definitely able to see that collaboration that we have and the close partnership that we have with them that unfortunately is not the case in every community. And so we are certainly blessed that we have the backup and the quick response and the willing to collaborate from Clinton Police Department. I want to extend a congratulations to Jason Glasshauser, who's a music teacher at North and South Clinton. He applied for the CMA Foundation Music Teacher of Excellence Award for the second year, and he was granted it for the second year. So you are only allowed to win that 3 years in a row, and so his goal is to win it 3 years in a row. And so if you see Leanne smiling in the back, we are going to get to attend a dinner with him next week to see him get awarded that. He will actually get tickets to attend the CMA Awards. He only gets one other person. So if his family member is not able to attend, Leanne has already been campaigning for that second ticket to be able to go with him. But he's using it to purchase additional percussion instruments for North and South Clinton. And then there is also a personal stipend that he gets out of this grant that just goes to him, but he has turned around and has actually paid into some additional training for himself for professional development. So certainly proud of him. And hopefully this year, whoever is singing, we did joke with last year that he did not know who Brooks and Dunn was. And so we taught him that. So I don't know who the presenter is going to be next week, but we'll have to make sure that he's familiar with them before we go. And then I just want to give you all an update on where we stand for school letter grades. If you remember, legislation passed several years ago that we were going to start issuing one single letter grade for each school district or each school across the state of Tennessee. That got postponed due to various reasons, and then COVID came along, and we had some testing fiascos, and that has yet to play out. It was scheduled to play out this year, and we were just informed previously when the law was first created. I believe it was Commissioner McQueen put together several task force that spent 2 years coming up with the methodology that we would use for letter grades. And that methodology was communicated to districts. And in fact, Dr. Jordan had already figured out with that formula what grades each one of our 3 schools was going to be, so we weren't going to be surprised at what those were. And when Commissioner Reynolds came on board over the summer, we were just informed about a month ago that she is completely redoing that methodology. There is some unhappiness about some of the components that are in that methodology that they don't feel like is accurately representing the work that's happening in schools. And so what took 2 years to create with lots of stakeholder input, the department is going to be revamping that in a matter of 2 months. And so I did attend a public forum. They have held a public forum. That was a big discussion at our directors meeting in Gatlinburg this week. There is a strong desire to put more achievement in there versus growth. And so we have yet to see how that is going to play out. So I did have a chance to, Joey was actually at school today as well and heard that we talked to Representative Reagan a little bit about our concerns there. And, as for the public, we want to be as transparent as we can. That the report card is very transparent. It has all of our data out there for parents to see.
Does
And
growth have any input in this?
there will be a growth component, but the percentage has not been tapped out yet. And there is a strong philosophical desire with the new commissioner to place more emphasis on achievement. The feedback that we have given is if you do that, you are walking a very, very thin line of being discriminatory towards poverty schools. Because we know all the research shows or indicates that poverty is directly tied to your achievement. Poverty is not tied to growth. And that's the way that you close the gaps, is through growth. And you have some schools, we have some kids in Clinton City Schools that come and start fourth grade and they're already on grade level. Well, it's not just good enough for them to maintain grade level. The expectation is we would grow them a year. We have to take them and grow them, or we're not doing our job. And there is a philosophical belief that that piece is not important, just the reaching proficiency is important. So we're working hard to combat that. They're supposedly doing this in the name of transparency, and we keep preaching one single grade. I mean, schools are too multidimensional and it's complex work. You can't simplify that into a grade.
Is this one person
Uh,
changing all of this?
General Assembly, but then,
General
yes, the
Assembly, okay.
commissioner has come, and I do believe that there is a push. She's ultimately employed by the governor. And so I think there's a push from the governor and several General Assembly people that did not like the way the projected grades played out. And
that makes sense.
there is a belief, now I will go on record for saying it is a belief, that it is being redone because they did not like some of the schools that were receiving higher grades, and that there will ultimately be, this is kind of a way to privatize and bring in vouchers and more charters because the letter grades might not truly reflect the good work that is going on in schools. So I think us as a board and us as a leadership team are gonna have to work really, really hard to communicate how that grade is formed and to showcase our tradition of excellence, because basically our work hasn't changed, just the methodology and what they're reporting and the weights that they're giving it has changed. And we've tried to say, with the way the report card is written right now, parents can go and determine what is important for them. Because for some parents, achievement may be important, but for some other parents, growth may be important. For some parents, our subgroups and how we perform with special ed are going to be important. To an ELL parent, the subgroup of ELL is going to be important. So let the parents determine what is important to them. Don't let the state determine what's important and then assign one single grade to a school. It's going to happen, and there's a strong desire in General Assembly for that to happen in the name of transparency. So I think we're just going to have to combat that publicly and show transparent, in a transparent way, all the good things that are happening in Clinton City Schools and not allow the good work that's happening with boys and girls and teachers to be demeaned to one letter grade. So more to come on that. I have no idea how Clinton City Schools will tap out because we don't know what the formula is, but she has assured us that formula will be out and we will know in November. So that's where we stand with that. And then with the fall, just our fall fire department cookouts, I put the dates there that October 4th will be North Clinton, October 5th is Clinton, and October 6th is South Clinton. And then just a reminder of a schedule change this year that we've communicated when we did our schedule last year. But after surveying teachers, we have changed our October in-service day to the day after fall break instead of the day before fall break. So I've listed the fall break days there as October 9th through the 13th, and then October 16th will be our monthly collaborative day. So any questions for me? That concludes my updates.
All righty, thank you, Kelly. Anything else? Lots of great things continue to happen at Clinton City Schools. With that, I'll declare this meeting adjourned.